Welcome to the Breakup Recovery Podcasts by your host, Barbara Stevens. Discover the wisdom and remarkable insights of Barbara Stevens, breakup recovery mentor, author, and public speaker. Barbara offers programs and solutions for any breakup so you can turn your life around, create lasting changes for the better, and embrace life again.
So today I have Alvia Turney with me, CEO and founder of Act for Tomorrow. Alvia, I wanted to ask you, what was your motivation in starting your unique company? And can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Thank you, Barbara. I'm actually very honoured to be invited and talking to you today. Act for Tomorrow actually started from my own personal experience. I had gone through what so many before me and after me do, which is a marriage breakdown. It was not so much my personal circumstance of my ex-husband seeing someone else, but it was the whole process, how I was looked after during from the legal fraternity, as well as my misunderstanding and lack of knowledge that really put me into a massive depression and spiral of emotional confusion. Once I found myself in this situation with literally unknown circumstance of what to do, of course I turned to friends, and the first advice was, you need a solicitor. I found a solicitor, but even there I just didn't seem to know what was going on, and things like home contents, etc., were being sold off, the bank accounts were emptied, and I was always felt like I was about 10 steps behind what was happening. Plus, the advice never seemed to stop the confusion. And on top of that, coping with my emotional state, which was that my husband had been having affairs, I just really had gone into a tailspin of confusion. But it wasn't until after the trial, which is a court situation where you actually eventually end up, if you don't settle outside of court, and once I'd paid my legal fees, did I realise that a lot of it was completely unnecessary, if only someone had shown me how.
So Alvia, how long after you divorced did you actually start this company?
Well, I left my situation in 2006. It took me a couple of years to get through the whole legal litigation, so that brought me to 2008. I did the whole eat, pray, love thing and went round the world on my own for 6 months and sort of gathered my senses. And when I realised that there is actually a simple formula to this, it became my passion that I wanted to share it. So I had to actually go and do some education. I went and did business and marketing as well as some life coaching, and that took a couple of years, which brings us to 2011. And it was then, it had become a real passion. Everyone I was meeting who was in this situation, I was just giving advice and helping and trying to steer them in the right direction. And it still took a little while before I realised just what I had and how, once it was organised, how it would help so many thousands of people. It doesn't just help them emotionally. The financial saving is phenomenal, and that's what my passion is to share this with anyone and everyone, whether they use the company or not. There is an alternative simply with giving you knowledge and information, and you can do this yourself.
So what you're actually offering people is an alternative to the legal system, a system that empowers them and allows them to be fully in control of their situation and their circumstances, so that their divorce or their separation is done in a way that they feel comfortable with.
Oh, Barbara, absolutely. What happens when you're in the beginning of this situation? First, there's two types of people. One who has already had a separation, so they're in the mess where one of the parties has said it's over, or something has happened and it is over. It's going to happen, it's inevitable. The other type of people that I see are people who desperately want to leave but don't know how. So it doesn't really matter which person you are. what happens with Act for Tomorrow is that we hold your hand. We become the best friend that you need who has the information. So, for example, someone who doesn't know how to leave, we help organise you with looking at your bank accounts, understanding where your finances lay, how you leave, when you're going to leave. You actually plan the best time to tell your ex-partner when you want to separate, because timing is everything. You don't want to start doing this just before somebody's wedding or Christmas or someone's birthday or your wedding anniversary. And once you're literally through that, we're with you, support you from the next day, because obviously there's going to be a lot of concern from the other party as well. We guide you from that point, and then it is very important you get the right legal advice. And one amazing thing that's happened for us in the last year for my company is that we have a few solicitors. We've got 2 in Queensland, 1 in Victoria and 1 in Perth, who we work solely with because they believe in this concept. They give the legal advice, and once you have that, knowing where you stand, from that point on you are able to make the right choices and decisions. What we do is we do all your communication with the other side, or we at least help you present your communication to the other side. We'll write your text messages and emails, whatever's necessary to just try and keep things calm and diffused. So as the process goes through, you need to know legally what you're entitled to, and then you can start negotiating with who's keeping what, how the division is going to be made.
So really, if someone is thinking about divorcing or separating, they can come to you beforehand, before the actual separation has started, so that they can get some advice from you. They can work out how they're going to break the news, and you will help them through all the stages.
Exactly. And it's that uncertainty and fear that most people have that keeps them there. If you knew how to leave and you've got a plan of action, it doesn't seem so overwhelming. And it's funny, Barbara, the older generation in their 60s plus are the ones who stay because they're just terrified that they can't work this out. They don't know a way through it. So once they're shown how their banking can be divided, how the assets will be shared, it's actually quite a simple process.
It must be quite comforting to a lot of people to know that they have someone beside them that understands what they're going through and can guide them in a way that makes them feel comfortable.
Yes, and the company doesn't operate just 9 to 5. We're there all the time, especially during the more emotional times, like at the beginning. You have your own consultant at the end of a text message. Literally, we are your best friend.
So Alvia, someone can come to you even if they're undecided whether they want to leave their particular partner.
We often find that people are still a little bit unsure. That their fear factors could be that if they leave, maybe they make a mistake, or that if they leave, they have no money. But sometimes people literally are sitting on the fence feeling it's not that bad. It's 50% okay, it's 50%, oh, and this week we didn't argue so much, so I think I should stay for the children. We run a course called Clarity. It becomes quite clear whether as a couple you have literally grown apart or whether there is still a lot of room to work together. Within half of the course, which is it's only really a 6-week course, very quickly it becomes evident that yes, you could actually start working on how to improve the way you communicate. And we give you real life skills. We don't, it's not counselling, it's actually giving you different techniques to go home and try beyond just date night. It is actual practical advice, so it's hands-on. You get homework to do. Very quickly, again, through the homework, you will find things are just not improving. That you see, you can never change someone else. You can only change yourself. And if you're willing to perhaps adapt and try different things, reignite your relationship by simple communication techniques like respect, thank yous, and please. And if you find over the few weeks of this course, absolutely nothing changes from the other side, you will start becoming clearer that it is probably time that the relationship has died and it's time to move on. However, if it isn't time to move on, we encourage the other party to come and join us for what's called a relationship course. This is fun. This is actually a really proactive, fun course where two people are given completely different sets of information to work on each other. I had a beautiful text at Christmas actually from a man. His wife hasn't joined us, but he has persevered on his relationship. And Christmas morning I had a text from him saying, "Thank you so much, because this is the first Christmas I've actually felt part of the family." And really what he's done is just change moderately his own behaviour, which has had such a huge impact on how his wife is reacting and interacting to him. It's wonderful.
So this course, Clarity, you run it for 6 weeks. Where do people find more information on this, Alvia?
For all of our courses, the website, which is www.actfortomorrow.com.au, the information's there and you can contact us through that.
So just to clarify your website, it's act and the number 4.
Thank you. Yes, www.act4tomorrow.com.au.
Also with this course, Clarity, can people do this online, or do they have a one-on-one interaction with somebody, with one of your consultants?
Actually, that's an excellent question, because we have clients all over the country. You don't have to be present. We can do this on a telephone. A lot of our clients are in Darwin. We're situated in the Sunshine Coast, but we've got clients in Perth, Darwin and down in Victoria, and we've never met them, and they just work with us. In fact, that gentleman I was talking to, he's up north, and I've only actually met him once, so it can be done, yes. But it is a consultant with you, so it's not an online course.
So if you're doing the course, you get to talk to someone every week or as often as you need to?
The actual program runs every other week, and in between weeks your homework is followed up. So you do have a 15-minute session with your consultant just to make sure that you're staying on track.
So Alvia, we've talked about one of your courses, Clarity. Do you often find that people come to you as a couple or by themselves? And if they do, what are they actually seeking out from you?
Okay, so we have the main body of our business is separations, and what we're doing during that separation is we're helping and assisting an individual, and then hopefully their partner will come on board to separate their finances. Also to work on a private parenting plan. The reason we do the private parenting plan is because it's flexible, and as the children change and you and your circumstances change, it's a much better process for everybody involved. The separation that we do with an individual, and then hopefully as the second partner will come on board, is to discuss and negotiate your financial settlement.
Alvia, couples are coming to you seeking their separation. I guess it's a cheaper option if they come to you and you help them through this difficult process, because if you use a solicitor, it can be quite expensive and it can be daunting, especially if the solicitor has their own agenda.
Yes, we are really trying to promote that it is a much better option for couples to come to us together. We listen to how they would like their assets and liabilities divided, especially when they have a company involved, or if they've got perhaps inheritances and things a little bit outside the square. But saying that, it is better for everyone to do this together. I actually heard one person saying to me, it takes 2 to get married, but really it only takes 1 to separate. However, if you have 2 who are sensible during a separation, it is a quick process. And we are promoting this because we're very lucky to have our solicitors now who are working with us. We can contain the angst, we can work with the couple to discuss anything that needs to be back and forth, and we can wrap up this situation within 2 to 3 months, and you've got your finances all legally separated for your future. Now, the benefit of this, of course, is the emotional mayhem, that it just doesn't exist. You're in and out, which means you're going to be able to decide on your parenting better. The children are not watching people fighting over the next perhaps 12 months to 2 years. And you can all move on with your lives and get over the loss, perhaps if this wasn't something that you wanted, to move on to a much, much happier state of mind.
So thank you, Alvia, for sharing what you do at Act for Tomorrow. I think it's been very informative. I think I'll have to get you back so that we can talk more about the benefits people can get from using your services.
Thank you, Barbara. That was lovely. Thank you.
If you would like to hear previous Breakup Recovery podcasts, visit barbarastevens.com.au. Connect with Barbara Stevens on social media with Barbara Stevens Breakup Recovery Mentor on Facebook and at You'll Be Okay on Twitter. Read further blogs, view webinar replays, and download your free ebook, 3 Easy Steps to Surviving Your Breakup, and much more at barbarastevens.com.au.